This is the story of a brave young girl named Amara and her encounter with the mysterious fire spirit. Amara lived in a quiet village known for its peaceful people. Her village had thrived for generations, but for as long as anyone could remember, there had been one fear that loomed over them: an ancient fire spirit said to live deep in the mountains. The villagers spoke of it only in whispers, for the spirit was believed to control the flames of the earth. Whenever it stirred, it left destruction in its wake: crops scorched, homes turned to ash. Every few years, a great fire would sweep down from the mountains, forcing the villagers to rebuild once again. Amara had grown up hearing these stories, and though she feared the fire, she also felt a strange curiosity. Unlike others, she believed there was more to the spirit than anger and destruction. She often thought to herself, what if there is a way to make peace with the fire spirit? But no one in the village dared to even think of such a thing. One evening, as the villagers gathered to discuss the approaching harvest, a great plume of smoke rose from the mountain peak. The skies darkened, and the air grew thick with heat. Panic spread like wildfire through the village. "The fire spirit is awake," they cried. "It will burn our fields and homes again." Amara watched the fear on her neighbors' faces. Her heart pounded in her chest, but not with fear. Instead, it beat with resolve. She couldn't stand by and watch her village suffer again. She made up her mind someone had to confront the fire spirit, and she would be that someone. That night, she gathered her courage and a small pack of provisions: water, bread, and a charm her grandmother had given her for protection. As she made her way to the edge of the village, she heard her mother's voice. "Amara, where are you going?" her mother asked, worry lining her face. "I'm going to the mountain," Amara replied, her voice steady despite her fear. "I have to try and talk to the fire spirit. I can't let our home burn again." Her mother's eyes widened with terror. "No one has ever returned from the mountain. You can't face the spirit. It's too dangerous." But Amara shook her head. "I have to try. If I don't, we'll all lose everything." Her mother wanted to protest, but she saw the determination in her daughter's eyes. With a heavy heart, she placed the charm around Amara's neck and whispered, "May the spirits protect you, my brave girl." Amara set off into the night, the glowing light of the mountain her only guide. The journey was long and treacherous. The air grew hotter, the ground beneath her feet crackled with heat, and yet Amara pressed on. Soon, she reached the mouth of a vast cave where the fire spirit was said to dwell. Flames flickered inside, casting long shadows on the walls. With a deep breath, Amara entered the cave. The heat was unbearable, but she didn't turn back. She walked deeper into the cave until she found herself standing in front of a towering figure made of pure fire. The fire spirit? It was magnificent and terrifying all at once. Flames roared from its body, and its eyes glowed like molten lava. "Why have you come, mortal?" the fire spirit's voice boomed, echoing through the cave. Amara's knees trembled, but she stood her ground. "I've come to ask you to stop burning our village. Every few years, you bring fire and destruction, and we cannot survive like this. Please, we beg for your mercy." The spirit's flames seemed to flare brighter, and it roared with laughter. "Mercy. You speak of mercy, yet your people take from the earth without a second thought. You grow crops, build homes, and cut down trees, yet you never give back. My fire is the earth's way of cleansing itself." Amara thought for a moment, her brow furrowed in thought. Then she spoke, her voice calm but firm. "You're right. We have taken from the earth without giving back, but we didn't understand. Now we do. I promise, if you spare our village, we will honor the earth. We'll plant trees, give thanks for the land, and live in harmony with nature." The fire spirit was silent for a long moment. Its fiery eyes studied the young girl, and then its flames began to dim, just a little. "You are brave, young one, and your heart is true," the spirit said, its voice softer now. "I will grant your village one chance. If you keep your promise, the flames will never return. But if you break it, the fire will consume all." Amara bowed her head. "Thank you, great spirit. I swear, we will honor our word." With that, the fire spirit's flames flickered one last time before vanishing into the air, leaving only a faint warmth behind. Amara returned to her village the next morning. greeted by astonished faces. She told them of her encounter with the fire spirit and the promise she had made. From that day on, the villagers worked together to honor the earth. They planted new trees for everyone they took, gave offerings to the land, and lived in harmony with nature. And true to its word, the fire spirit never brought its flames to the village again. Amara had saved her home, not with force, but with understanding and bravery. And so, young and old, the story of Amara reminds us that true courage doesn't come from fighting against nature, but from learning to live in harmony with it. Sometimes, the bravest thing we can do is seek understanding, even from the most fearsome of spirits.